Man, what up? Peace, 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 peace. Just want to come back with another video, man. Hopefully, y'all having a good day. Yeah, man. I just want to give you I was just reading this precept earlier, because it's the Proverbs. It's the 29th, so I'm reading Proverbs 29 today. So, yeah, man. I was reading scripture. It was kind of remind me of time because it's going to follow up. I said yesterday and my time in corporate, like America, this past summer. Me and my homie would talk about this a lot, especially those Edomites there. Like we always say, man, these are people we could tell they just never got told no, and that's what usually happens. But I was reading this precept earlier, and this was basically saying the same thing. It's really that. This is Proverbs chapter 29 and 21. This is in the Good News Bible. We can get on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It says, if you give your servants everything they want from childhood, someday they will take over everything you own. So yeah, man, that's what basically most of these Edomites in corporate America, or just in general. I mean, that's what anybody in general, like many nation. But I noticed that. But I'm just going to go on my experiences with them, them in corporate America, because these were, you could tell by these people, they were never told no and stuff like that. They always got what they want, and they carried on to adulthood, man. So the place I was at, man, they would party. They were literally party through the week, stuff like that. Had barbecues and parties and mixers, stuff like that. But towards the end of the week, they would want us to stay overtime and stuff like that and do the jobs last minute. Or most of the time, they didn't even show up, man. So, but yeah, man, that's really it. Then that's I laughed at when I read the scripture, because this how true, this proves how true the scriptures are, basically, because that's really what I really witnessed this in real time. That's really what happened. If this is Proverbs 29:21, if you give your servant everything they want from childhood, someday they will take over everything you own. So yeah, man, and this is too where the popular saying comes from. I mean, this for me, this is really what the popular saying comes from, from my perspective. Like, the inmates run the asylum, basically this is what that's saying, man. So this kind of going into that too. Like, every popular quotes and worldly quotes, or quotes from the philosophers, throughout history, stuff like that, all comes from the scriptures, man. This all comes from what the Lord's word, basically, man. This is all where it comes from, man. That's where this term, where the quote, the saying, the inmates from the asylum. It's basically saying the same thing, man. So it's all in the scriptures, man. So it says, if you give your servants everything they want from childhood, someday they will take over everything you own. That's really what happens too. That happens in everyday life, especially among Edomites, man, especially among them. We see it all the time. I'm not saying it doesn't happen with our people, our nation. Of course, it happens even with any other nation. But I just noticed it with them as well, especially being in corporate America, being there. I wasn't there that long per se, but I just noticed it's like, damn. But we could tell, see, that's a blessing being raised, how the way, certain that's kind of, even though I'm not even gonna say well, I'm not even gonna say it's a good thing, us being going through these curses as a people, stuff like that, growing up in certain areas, to grow up that not having so much access to certain things. Not saying every Israelite, every Jake out there did grow up that way, because some grew up in nice places, stuff like that. Grew up in nice, and there's actually nothing wrong with that. It's actually a great thing. That's actually should be pushed more, in our nation too. But it's a blessing to grow up the way that most of us did, because we didn't get told yes to everything. We didn't always get what we want. We got told no a lot, or we didn't have everything. But that's actually, now looking back at it, as you get older, it's actually more of a blessing now. So you can understand that, because when you never grown up, never been told no, something like that. And I know people that growing up that never got told no, so like that. It's hard to them to adapt to things, because they never got told no. You can't do that. You can't do that. No, you cannot have that. You cannot do that. No, there's rules, regulations, and boundaries. That's what pretty much the scriptures is too. This rule is a code of conduct, rules and regulations, what to do, what not to do, basically. But I said to say it's kind of a blessing to grow up, in certain places, certain times, because grow up in that, in Revelation, 2:9 says, I know thy poverty, so like that, but thou art rich. So it's kind of a good thing still to grow up in poverty, in that sense, because when you don't always get what you want, you just, Proverbs actually 30:8, what Solomon says in the next chapter. He says, don't give me too less, but don't give me too much, Lord. Where I forget about you, don't give me any less that I just forsake you. Say, oh, why am I this and that? Which I kind of want to go into that too on probably later, the Lord's will. But it's kind of a blessing getting growing up the way you grew up, because you getting told no and stuff like that. But these people, when I was there, man, and a lot of people in a lot of corporate Americas, a lot of corporations, they was never been told no. So, and then and it says it will take, and and it says, and someday they will take everything, everything like you own over, basically. I'm reading again. It says Proverbs chapter 29 and 21. It says, if you give your servants everything they want from childhood, someday they will take over everything you own. So yeah, man, that's what happened, because these are people that inherited their business, their parents' businesses like that, and got passed on, and they could do whatever they want. Shoot, it's actually happening, where I'm at now, basically. So yeah, man. So that's what it is with that, man. So, but it's actually kind of, it is. It's kind of, you see more of the things the Lord shows you, more things the Most High shows the blessings and things too. It's kind of good that most of us raised how we are raised, something like that. Not getting everything we want, being told no. I'm kind of actually because me, man, growing up here in Philly, man, even though like I really want to leave though. Really trying to leave soon, eventually, Lord's will, that happens. But still, I'm still kind of glad that I was raised here. I came up here pretty much because I'm glad, because I learned a lot about life, like here, how to move and stuff like that. So that's really key too, man. That's really like key to not being told yes to everything. Some certain nights, like didn't get what you want. Certain nights you didn't have to eat you didn't eat what you wanted to eat, but you ate though. So that is growing up in that type of struggle. But you learn a lot though. You always didn't get yes. Actually, that's how the Most High doesn't give us everything that we want, because it could be to our ruin, pretty much, man. I'm still even learning that now, because like, man, He could give you everything, but it could be to your destruction, man. Because that's why false balance is abomination to Him, man. And in His time, He'll give you what He wants you to give you now. But if He gave you everything, everything, like the people try to point the Most High out to be like He's a genie, then no, man. The Lord knows what's best, man. Seriously, so. Yeah, I just want to do this little quick exhortation, man, because I read this and I started laughing. But it's a fact, though, man. If you do give them everything that they want, we give somebody everything they want from childhood, man, it'll eventually, oh my gosh, we see it in corporate America and these corporations. We see it in everyday life in general, man. So, yeah, hopefully this was edifying. So, peace.